Hey guys, what's going on? It is the 19th of March. When at the beginning of the year, even right before the beginning of the year, you say to yourself, I want to do this more consistently and I just want to do it. And, blah, da, 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 da. I want to make sure that 2023 is going to be the best year for me, that I'm not going to have anything that I don't want. And, you get through March and you think you would have done what? How many days? Since then, how many Sundays? So 12? 12? I thought it would have had a lot more videos as far as vlogs and things like that, but we're getting there. I'm actually not mad about the fact that I'm doing at least one a month because it's getting me in the habit of just doing it because there's that thing in the back of my brain that says, oh, we've got to do that this month because, you said you wanted to do one a week, but you're doing one a month, and that goes to twice a month. And we talk about this, I think, every single vlog that I do. But that's actually one thing I do want to talk about. I do want to talk about the fact of like where we're at. It's springtime. It's March, guys. 3 months are down, and we're getting closer to the middle of the year and summertime, and where you want to be with like your summer body and things like that. I'm gonna tell you right now, I haven't hit the gym yet, but I've also been adjusting from like having an engagement that fell through, and then I went a month pretty much without working in December. Like I had a job the first 2 weeks and then I lost it. And now I'm having to rebuild. And I'm actually in a very decent spot. So I have a very good plan, I think, in order to get myself back on track. I'm already back on track. I just need to make sure that I continue to do the plan that I have. Because if I can do this plan correctly, not only am I going to get back on track, I'm going to drop um, probably my credit card and my open loan down to zero by the end of the year. And that's not something that was in my plans, but I think the way that I can do it is going to really expedite me to getting down my debt to zero. And then I can focus on the other things. I even had a conversation with myself the other day. I said, just focus on the things that you need to get done. Focus on the things that are forward, front, and need to be taken care of. So, like my home, I want to see if I can't get that in, like, because it's a rent to own, but I want to see if I can't get a loan for it in order to knock my payments down by maybe even half, because I pay 500 for lot rent and then I pay 500 for the house. So if I can get it to where it's just in my name, not in the name of the company that I'm renting from, like buying it from, then I should be able to cut my payments down, like go from 500 to 300. That's an extra $200 in my pocket, you know, um, dropping my credit card and my loan down, that'll eliminate, two payments a month. Again, that's $200 more back in my pocket. That's $400 that I just found right there. It's so quick. Um, but I mean, this is just forward thinking. Always trying to forward think into the future and how I'm gonna handle the next couple months, because I don't want to be sitting around with sitting on my hands, um, waiting for the answer to come to me. I've been really trying to visualize how I get things done these days and how I attack things. Um, and just as far as life too, trying to be more active and drink more water. That's what's in here. I've really gotten slack again on just not keeping up with my goals, and I think it's around that time. It's been 3 months. The first couple of weeks you really gung ho, and then the second couple of weeks you kind of slack off a little bit, and then by March you're just like, not keeping up with that. I've been doing good. Work's been really well. My step counter's been down. And I think that's just due to the fact that again I'm putting my phone down. I really need a pedometer to be wearing around and tracking my steps. I think that's going to really give me a more accurate representation of where I am as far as my health goes and everything like that. Um, like I said, I've just been slack on drinking water, and that's my fault. You don't think about it enough you, throughout the days. So just even making sure I have this and I'm drinking it more, like I'm still thirsty. I sipped it a minute ago and I'm still like, excuse me, I need another sip. But yeah, just doing really well with my health goals and things. I've been promoting Mountaineer brand a little bit more. I've got a couple of ideas for some things that I want to do with them. I'm going to tell you just to be straight up. I've got a couple of photos that I'm looking to make as far as the the products themselves, like what they're based off of, like lime and sage, have a fresh lime and then, have a photo with that, do a couple sprigs, maybe chop it up, just something like that. Then I want to see if their growth serum for beards, like it helps, you know, give you a little bit more vitamins and minerals to put in your face and like help strengthen your beard, especially if you have patches and things like that. I want to see if it works in my head because, like most men, I have male pattern baldness going on, and I'm 28. And I've already got thinning hair here and a bald spot like growing here. I went to my cousin's wedding back in November, and I had a picture with my former fiance, and I leaned down to kiss her, and they took a photo, and you could clearly see how thin my hair was, and I hated it. That's why I have fully committed pretty much to the razor again, and I don't want to. I don't mind being bald. I like the way I look bald. I think if I lose some weight too, thin down, just lose some weight in my face, I think I'll look a little bit, thinner, a little bit better, a little bit healthier. But on top of that, I love my hair. Like I've always enjoyed having hair, and just the same thing with my beard. If I can't have hair on my head, I'm gonna have hair on my face. And glad I got out of the restaurant. Kidding, not kidding. It's actually allowed me to be a little bit uh, more free with cooking and feel better about things I do. And actually, I think it's going to lead me to be healthier in the long run because eventually I'm going to get out of this habit of eating fast food, which I'm working on. I've been working on very well. Just getting in the habit of meal prep is the biggest thing. And I actually had an idea about that last night. I'm really considering. I'm thinking about a like chef delivery service or like being an in-house chef at night and cooking dinner for people maybe because like not everybody wants to cook and like I don't necessarily always want to cook either, but I could offer my services at least on a meal prep basis to where you're like, hey, you can have this, and then all you got to do is like put it in your plate and heat it up in the microwave. Because I was thinking like those dishes you get from a Mexican restaurant, if it's like an ACP, some of them will give you like that tin foil bowl with the thing on the top. You can't microwave that. Um, just like different ideas like that I've been thinking of, really trying to expand my thinking because I have free time now. I feel like I go into work at 6, I'm off at 3, I get home, it's like 3:10. If I walk out the door at 3 o'clock and go straight home, if I leave and go straight home from work, I can get home in 5 minutes. So I have free time. I was driving, you know, an hour one way, 30 minutes to an hour one way for work before. I have that time back. I can go do other things. I've been working out in the yard, not the past couple weeks because it's been a little bit colder than I've wanted it to be, and just, it is what it is. Like today, I could be at work. It's like gonna be up to 50 degrees, I think. I'm just too much of a wimp to go out there and actually do anything. And who knows? I still might do it. It's so deflating just to deal with so much pine straw and pine straw and pine straw. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to get it all done because I really want to turn that area still into a gathering area where people can come and hang out and just chill because not everybody wants to hang out inside the house. Sometimes, it's nice to hang outside. So we're going to just continue to work on my goals, really is the meaning of this one today. Just continuing to work on your goals. Don't let the fact that it's not happening now slow you down because you can still be working on your goals even if, the big goals aren't happening. The small steps are what lead to big steps. And just showing up is what matters. Showing up and working on it, getting those steps in, drinking that water, um, working on that project you don't necessarily want to work on. Take that mountain and work on something small. You don't have to work on the big things today. on the small things. You know, work on just eating one healthy meal today. Work on cooking something that's really delicious and healthy. And that's another thing. You know, I look at people and people are like, you know, I like to eat and I don't want to give up the things that I like in order to be healthy. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm on Instagram and what I follow is a bunch of healthy food. Like, and to be honest with you, it's all healthy food. It tells you what the macros are, what it is, and how many calories it is. And it looks delicious. You mean to tell me you can't get on Instagram, look up these recipes that are right here, or on like Reddit, Pinterest? Pinterest is the one. Pinterest has some great recipes, but you can't get on these websites and look up some great recipes that are healthy and taste good. I don't want to eat, you just don't want to give up cheeseburgers and donuts. Well, guess what? You can make healthy cheeseburgers and donuts. You can make healthy food. It's all these additives that people are putting into our foods. The pre-made food is not good for you. If you actually make your food, you will have better results. You will be healthier. If you cook and you make it yourself, you can make it 10 times healthier than what it is. You do not have to give up what you want to eat. You just have to do it better. You have to intake it correctly. You have to be making it yourself. You have to find ways to make something that is, healthy taste good. That is the way this is. I don't want to be eating chicken and rice every day, but guess what? If I eat chicken and rice and I make something different tomorrow, that is not going to be like, oh, this is just chicken rice. If I can manage to make it taste different, then guess what? It's going to be good. Period. Like, it's just in how it's prepared. That's it. You can still eat fried chicken. You can still eat pizza. You can do it healthy, though. You don't have to have like 18 slices of pizza, Linda. You don't have to be drinking gallons of Coca-Cola a day. You can still have those things. You can't be having them in excess. Everything in moderation. People tell you that all the time. You don't want everything all at once, all the time. You can't have it like that because then it loses its meaning, its purpose, and then its joy. Like, we have taste buds and receptors that, like, the first time you tasted a Coca-Cola, this is why you drink Coca-Cola, you got addicted to it because of the way it made your mouth taste. Your mouth loved the way it tasted, and you just couldn't stop drinking it, and you just drink more and more and more and more and more to just try to get that taste. That's all that is. That is why that happens. You have to train yourself. Like, this isn't, it's difficult. We start it from birth. We start training ourselves from birth. And the way we train ourselves, it's just a pattern. And you just have to find the patterns that work. I'm going off on a tangent, actually, now. A tangent I didn't even think I was going to go on to. For all you ASMR people, we just, train. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is my favorite video I've recorded so far of these. I'm starting to have fun with these. I'm starting to let loose a little bit more. I mean, essentially it's me talking to a camera and just to myself in an empty room with egg cartons on the wall. But I mean, we're getting there. I'm hoping to slowly just evolve this room, evolve the house, evolve my life into the next version of me. I feel like I've been it's happened slowly over probably the last 10 years since I got out of my parents' house. I moved out, I moved in with a friend, then moved to South Carolina, then I came back, and then I moved in with another friend and moved out on my own. And just, it's been one thing after another. And I'm finally slowly developing to this person that I want to be because, like, in my early 20s, I hated myself. Like 19, 20, 21, 22 even. Like, I kind of wasn't in love with who I was, and that really affected how I am today. I think, like, the things that I've done, it does. The past affects the present because the choices we make will resonate throughout time and affect who we are. Like, I've talked about it before. There was a point where I probably had fast food at least once a day. for a good while, probably for a year, 2 years. There wasn't a day that went by where I didn't have like a McChicken, a McDouble, two McChickens, two McDoubles. That's success. Like that's a lot of food. That's a lot of calories. You really only need one sandwich and one fry. And guess what? They serve water at McDonald's. That's all you need. A sandwich, like a cheeseburger, just a single cheeseburger. You don't need the whole thing. You don't need a Big Mac. You don't need a quarter pounder. You just need the single cheeseburger, a small fry, and a water. And that's all you need for your daily like nutritional value from there. Back to the point of eating in excess. You know, you don't need all of that. You just need sometimes the smallest things to just meet your daily nutritional value. And that's the thing. I think that people don't realize how much calories they intake when they eat all of these things. Like when they drink the Mountain Dew, when they eat the Oreos, they're not thinking, because I don't know about you, but I've looked on the back of a pack of Oreos and seen where it said 1 serving equals this, and I went, what's 1 serving? And they go 2 cookies, and I went, you mean the whole thing? 1 serving's the whole thing, right? Like I'm not the only one in here who's crushed an entire thing of Oreos, probably in one sitting, at least one day. I wouldn't say one sitting. I'm not going to sit there and eat Oreos. Can't say that I would eat Oreos, you know, from the time it opened till the time it stopped. You know, I gotta drink some milk. You know, I might have to might go be uncomfortable for a little bit because all that sugar is killing my stomach, but I could probably do it. I think that's the ultimate goal, is like I could eat a whole pack of Oreos. But that's not good for you. It is not good for you to be eating a whole pack of Oreos, is the main thing. You know, you have to have it in moderation. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I've went off on this tangent, and where did we start and where are we now? We started with goals. Yeah, and I was talking about how doing the vlog once a month was getting to me, but you know, it's progress. My other goals. So I've been a little bit more active on TikTok. Like I've got a couple of drafts that I'm working on because I really want to get back into my Dr. Asclepius character. But I feel like either A, I'm too big for my outfits, or B, the one mask that I had is broken. Like it keeps breaking on a strap right here that's connected because it's around and it goes around my head. And I actually thought it would be more quality, but I bought it from Amazon. You know, it was probably one of those like $13 Halloween masks. It probably is. It's sitting like actually right there. We could probably look at it, but I'm not going to. And then I have a white mask. It's a little bit of a harder leather, and I like that one, but it's got this thing. Like it looks like it's supposed to be sitting up, but the way it sits is like this. And when I look at it on me, I just don't like the way it looks. I think maybe I need to change the outfit I'm wearing to match it a little bit more. But it's a white mask, and I want to be wearing like the contrast of black at the same time. You know, it's one of those things. Anyway, so we've been working on TikTok videos, trying to get in the habit of making sure any videos and content that I make go to Instagram, um, Facebook, and YouTube, and TikTok if it's applicable for the platform. Just trying to get in the habits of showing up and doing better and being just showing up for my goals. And really, that's all I can say that I want to be doing, is just showing up and making sure that I'm grooming myself on camera. No. What it really is, what it's really coming down to is I'm just trying to hold myself accountable. You know, I want to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can with the opportunities that I'm presented. Like, to be honest with you, I haven't been stressing as much since I've gotten out of restaurants. Like, would I want my own restaurant and that own stress? Probably. You know, I'm still thinking about ideas of how I can work within the industry, but not working for someone else. I'm getting into that point where I want to work for myself. I don't want to work for a catering aspect. Like, I don't want to be going up and setting up and doing X amount of food I'd rather be making like plates and selling them, or like a meal prep service. Like, and even setting a menu, like, hey, this is what the meal prep's going to be. Like having my own menu and then going and buying excess, like if get a head count beforehand, you know, put the menu out on Saturday, have payments on Sunday, and have them tell you which meals they want you to make them, and then use that money and go and, you know, buy the products that you need and do it. Like, that's a great idea. I just like completed that thought in my head. I've been thinking about it since last night. It's actually a thought I went to bed on. You know, that thought of like, you know, if I go to bed and, you know, I want to think about it and I go to bed and I get up in the morning and still I get a good idea, I tend to do it type thing. It's kind of what I've been like really trying to manifest in my head. Manifesting better ideas, manifesting things that if they sound like a good idea yesterday and they sound like a good idea today, just really getting into those better habits, making my bed, you know, exercising, doing yoga, reading, meditation, getting off of technology like an hour before bed, not eating and doing, you know, a fast, going into intermittent fasting of up to like 16 hours. You know, I'm trying to get into that habit. I'm trying to get into these better habits that people who are healthier, happier, and even wealthier seem to have. And they all claim like, hey, do these things, be this way, and your life is just going to be more successful. Not even in like a monetary value, not even in like a fiscal, what am I, what money. What's the word? I know the word is the problem, and you put myself on the spot and the word just goes away. So just trying to focus on what I want to get done, and how I want to execute these things. Ultimately, I think execution is something that I've been looking over the last couple of weeks, the last years, of just doing things. Like, I can think about doing them, and then the execution is where we fail. So just getting in the habit of do it. Quit talking about it. Do it. Go to the beach. Go to the movies. Go to Raven Rock. Go stream. Go do it. Go do your fucking vlog. You know, like I've put so many things on the back burners because I think about doing them and do I do them? Do I really feel like doing it? Just do it. This is where we're at now. Just do it. Okay? And it's because I want to do better. And, you know, the fear of failure is something that stops a lot of people. And it stops me. You know, I didn't go to college, not only because I didn't know, like, up until I went to college, or up until I, you know, registered for college at 18. I wanted to be a family lawyer, You know, I'm a child of divorce. I've seen what happens. You know, I think that the people that go into it I should be an advocate because I know what goes on. You know, it's tough having to go from a family that is loved and whole and be broken up. And I didn't want to be like, yeah, family lawyers are looked down upon, but it wasn't an aspect of wanting to like break up a family. It's coming from an aspect of I know where these kids have come from. So, you know, I kind of want to help protect the children. I want to help the kid make sure they get the best possible scenario for themselves. And I just want to be a representation of that. But then I started getting accepted into colleges. I got accepted in like ECU, UNCG, like several just good colleges and universities here in North Carolina, and I froze. I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. Like, yeah, being a lawyer sounded great, being an attorney sounded great, but do you really want to do that? You know, that's a lot of schooling. You don't, not everybody passes the bar, and that's not even the thoughts that I had back then. It's just all of a sudden I no longer wanted to be a lawyer. Like, the thought went away from my head, and you know, I wasn't always great academically. I wasn't maybe doing it, but I wasn't like studying. So I mean, it's just a lot of things. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at the point, so I didn't go to college. I told my mom I didn't want to waste this money and get a degree that I regret later on. Get like a theater degree. Sorry. But I'm not going to be an actor, okay? I don't need a theater degree. I'm not going to go be in the stage as much as I want to. There's a theater performance. I might still do that, like go and be on the theater that's here. What is it? I can't even remember. Temple Theater. Like they have a theater here and like they perform. Like I could still possibly do that. I might do that. But I'm not going to be on Broadway. I don't need a theater degree in that aspect. I don't need a performing arts degree. I don't need if I would have gone, I probably would have done something like business, because I've been very interested in business recently. I've been interested in like how stocks work, how you know ETFs are a thing, and S&P 500. I know I'm just saying words like, oh, he thinks he sounds so smart, but and I've just been really interested in my finances, because who else is making it happen? I've said for myself for a while that I've wanted to be a millionaire, and that nothing's happened. I'm not like, there's no been like alarm that's gone off like, hey, this is your $1 million idea or this or that. So, be a millionaire in other ways, enrich your life to where you feel like a millionaire, and pursue your passions are kind of the things that are popping out to me, that are standing out to me right now. Pursue your passions, you know, strengthen habits, and enrich your own life to make yourself feel like you're a millionaire, I guess. Like, it's not all about having $1 million. Like, are you still going to enjoy life? Like, is my life going to be any different? Like, would I still have $1 million and be happier than I am right now? Or no, 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 that's not the metaphor. Would I be just as happy if I had $1 million and then lost everything and was here now? Probably not, but it's still the same the other way. Like, just because I have that money, it's not going to fix my internal happiness. It's here where you're happy. Like, yes, money helps, but it's the thing of like that montage. You see that person with that $1 million, like, oh yeah, my life is happy at first because I'm buying all these things, and then like they start to slow down, and they're like, I'm just spending all this money filling an empty void. Like, my life's not any richer by having this money. So like, enriching your life for millionaire mindset, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, I think. Like I said, I don't know. This is a vlog. I rant and rave and talk about whatever. I enjoy it. If not for nothing else, it helps me get my mind clear, and, I just talk about whatever. It's my 30 minutes on the internet. I don't have just 30 minutes on the internet, let's be honest. I've got Twitch, I'll do that for an hour or two, which Twitch has actually been a little bit more active. I've been doing Twitch up to 3 times a week. I've been trying to do it at least Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, just to get it into a routine. And even if I'm doing games like Fortnite and For Honor, we've been playing Civilization 6 recently, which has been really fun. I've been having a lot more fun with it. We've adjusted the settings to like make the game feel like it's gone by a little bit faster. We've stopped starting in the Stone Age, like just starting up, because me and him know how to play this game so well. We're playing against 4 or 5 enemy teams, 6, I think. I think there's 8 players total. Like, so me and him, and then 6 other people, right? So we're playing against that on King mode, just trying to make it happen. I think we're going to play a little bit today, and I'm going to stream that today if I can, just because, it's been really, really fun. And, if I can just get the wheels to turn and if I can get traction, I think I can get the machine behind me. I think I could really build up a head of steam and just get it going. And like, even with my financing and how I'm doing all of that, that's going to go into it, because once I get this money freed up a little bit, I can invest in my streams. I can invest in my YouTube and everything else, because I've been wanting to be a podcaster, a content creator for at least 15 years now. When I was like 13 years old, I found podcasts. I started with shout outs coming, man. The Angry Marks podcast. That is still around. Steve Juno, you amazing, beautiful man. Oh my goodness. I hope you're doing well, dude. I still see you on Facebook. I think about you all the time. I hope you're doing well, brother. Kevin Fields, like, two amazing men. Like, I just started listening to them at the Angry Marks podcast 13. It's a wrestling podcast with not just wrestling, but boxing, mixed martial arts, things like that, and just news. They gave you news and like a review. And it was my first experience in that, and I was so young and I loved it. Just the ability of just being able to reach out and talk to people like that. It wasn't the radio. It wasn't TV. It was something like you could do yourself. And I experimented with that. I've had several podcasts that have started and failed. The Mental Meltdown is still technically in the works, but I've had the Monkey Custer podcast. I've had a wrestling podcast of my own with a friend that lived out in Germany, and I still talk to him every now and then, and I hope he's doing very well. What else? I mean, just there's been so much, especially in the field. I went to CCCC for a semester, and I've really got to get back on it for their radio broadcasting production technology, course. I've really got to get back into that. And there's just several other courses like Coursera and information that's out there where, although I'm trying to stabilize, I'm looking at my next steps, because I don't just want to be a merchandiser at Lowe's the whole time. Like, especially if I'm trying to do this content creation thing, I've got to look for things that I can make content. Like, I want to be photography and a podcast and gaming and having fun, and eventually, who knows, maybe editing. But I'm not just looking at that. I'm looking at other things because content creation isn't going to take off immediately. It's not going to be something that I can do. So while I'm doing this, excuse me, I'm not used to the camera. So while I'm doing this, I need to be looking at this. Like, this is my main job right here. And if I can find something like, even while I'm learning this, I can find something like this and keep elevating my knowledge to allow me to step into the next part of my career. Like I said, content creation is a hobby, and I want it to stay that way. But if it becomes something greater, it becomes something greater. And then we will embrace it then. Like, there was a time in TikTok I was making 7 to 8 videos a day. And if we can get back to that trend, then that's great, because that will lead to success. Those things lead to success, to greater success. Those small moments. I want to be creating more small moments for myself in all aspects of my life. If it's love, if it's friendships, if it's career, if it's whatever it may be, I'm trying to get those small moments up and just make them better than what they are. I'm just trying to make so I have better days more frequent, where we're hitting our goals, being on track, and just doing what we want to do, which is ultimately what this is. It's all going into it. I like How I Met Your Mother a lot. And there's a quote inside of that show that I think is ultimately one of the most underrated things, and I think more people need to hear about achieving their goals and like what you want to do in life. So Mitch, he's a character in a later season. He ends up dating Robin for like a week, and he's famous for the Naked Man. And he does the same thing with Tracy, the future mother of the children of the show. and it doesn't work. And then they sit down and they have a conversation. And Mitch asks Tracy what she wants to do with her life. And I can't remember what she says exactly what she wants to do. But Mitch looks at her and says this. He says, "Good. Then make sure that every choice you make from now on is in service of that." I think she said, "I want to end world hunger." And he went, "Good. Then make sure every choice that you make is in service of that." And those are powerful words. Like how powerful can you just stop and think about what was just said? Like putting all of your energy, putting every thought you make into what you want to accomplish is the greatest thing you can do. It really, I hands down believe that. Like, it is the best thing you can do for yourself, because then you're achieving what you set out to achieve. There is no denying the fact that you aren't doing what you want to do. You are literally putting every bit of energy and thought into achieving your goals. And that's powerful to me. It really is. It's something that I try to make sure to at least have in my head as much as possible. I'm not like the best person in the world as far as achieving my goals and getting things done. I'm really not. Like, it's taken me a lot to become the person that I am today as far as getting my goals done and achieving what I set out to achieve. Like, I have plans to kayak the Cape Fear from one end to the other in North Carolina. I'm not doing that this year, as much as I would love to. As much as I love to. Right now, there are a couple of key issues that are in the way. One, that would take 7 days to do, and I cannot afford to take 7 days off. At least, I think it takes about a week to do that. Number two, I don't have a kayak to do that. Number three, I'm out of conditioning. Number four, I would have to find someone to do that with. And number five, it's just not a realistic expectation this year where I thought I was going to be. It's a goal, it's a stretch goal for maybe 5 years from now. Not even 5 years from now. It could be 3 years from now if I really work at it. Like, if I get a kayak this week and I start going out and I practice, for an hour a day, or, I get to the point where I just start doing legs of the Cape Fear. Like, I have a friend drop me off at the front, and I go down and I say, "Hey, I'm going to meet you here at this time." And that's just what I do. I do that for a few days. I spend I spend multiple days on multiple sections of that leg. And because the water flows differently, like, I'd hit that after a storm, after it's been down for a few days, when a normal day is, because you want to be able and you want to be ready to encounter whatever goes on in those conditions, because going down a river is kind of dangerous, because it can turn into something quick where you're not really ready for it and you get swept over and then you're underwater. So definitely a stretch goal. But I mean, that's something, if I were to make in service to that, I would literally start figuring out now, how do I save myself for 7 days? Like, for 7 days, what food do I bring with me in the canoe? Do I have stops? Do I meet people along the way? Because realistically, could you do 7 days just packed down with like a backpack, a buddy? And do you bring a third kayak with you that's filled with stuff, or do you make it to where you have checkpoints, which I feel is the safer option? I feel having designated stop and start points, places to camp, would be great, where you can set a fire, you can meet people, you can get your supplies, get whatever you need. You verify proof of life, because you're going to want, at least you take you and a friend and go down a river. You have a couple, like, I would say every other day you meet someone. So like day 1, you ship out, you don't see anybody. Day 2, day 3, you see somebody either in the morning or you meet them at nighttime. Like, and I feel like that's the better option, just because then you have either A, they get there in the morning, they see you before you ship out, or they're already there waiting for you when you make camp. And like that's when you resupply, which I feel like would be the better option. You you know, you have enough for a day, that second day, and that third day you're finishing up the supplies you have, rather than putting fresh supplies on top of your old supplies in the morning. You know, you can finish up at night. Hey, what do you guys need? We have like food, we have the food, we have toilet paper, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. You know, dry clothes if you need them, because you know, I could see, especially two. I could probably wear the same clothes going down 2 days in a row before I'd have to really change. Who knows? I've been out. I'm a Boy Scout. You know, I've spent a lot longer than that outside in the same clothes, probably. Like, to be honest, am I gonna hate it? Is it gonna be dirty? Yeah, yeah, it is. But that's the whole kind of experience. And again, this is something that I've thought about a couple years. It's not even in the possibility of happening. It's not even in the realm of the possibility yet. It's still very much an idea that I've grabbed onto, and maybe we'll take it down here and we'll make it real. And I want to. You know, I really want to make sure that I can make that happen. Excuse me, I'm having mustache trouble. See, this is where I need to be having a Mountaineer product right here. Just, oh, excuse me, I'm having, beard trouble. Just do it real quick. Mountaineer brand. Poor Mountaineer makes the man. Oh, vey. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for me today. Sat here a little bit longer than anticipated, but that's not a bad thing. Getting a little bit more comfortable talking in front of the microphone and the camera, and just, happy to see you guys. Even the people like this, you guys could see this another year from now. Who knows? Whenever you guys see this, I'm happy to see you guys. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you continue to radiate positive energy, which this channel is all about. I'm really a positive person. I want you people to succeed. I want you to be better versions of yourself than you were yesterday, last week, and last year. And just go out and have a great and amazing life. All right. Peace.